Absolutely. Yep. We here, baby. We're gonna have a conversation tonight. Um, it's an interesting topic, and I think in order to understand how we got here, you have to understand where it came from. Um, Hold on one second, y'all. All right, I'll send out a text. I'm sorry. 'Cause there's a lot going on, and all of this is related. I keep seeing these things pop up on my timeline. Um, and the sisters are really mad, really, really mad, and they really are blaming black men for why Kamala Harris lost. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew she was going to lose, and I knew that we were going to get blamed for it. And I see a lot of trauma bonding over this. It's like if you was a little ticked off about it, now you're angry and you're out loud, and everybody's on their TikTok ranting. And these women are just, you ladies, it's just out of control at this point. But in order to understand how we got here, we have to understand where we came from. And we're going to briefly go through how we got here, with you ladies. And I'm just going to bring up some things that you can look up yourself. And it's going to be a little accelerated, but it's going to lead up to this moment in time. Y'all got to look at yourselves in the mirror, because in the 60s, our queens made a choice. Okay? Y'all made a choice. And in 2024, y'all are dealing with it. And the thing is, you can't blame black men for this. We can blame the atmosphere. So let's do this roll call real quick. Ty will salute. Eric Jordan. A. Hardy, salute. Houston in the building. Darius, what's good? Derek Gaines, the legend. Eric Jordan in the building, always supporting. Chilltown Majors. Rod Neal, Houston, salute. Todd Swindle, what's going on? Night Train in the building. Phenomenal Mexican, Philip D, always support. Oh, y'all always support, man. Much love to y'all. Salute, man. Tat Lawson, what's going on? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So let's get started. I do these little memes because they're funny. Clarence McLean, Bronx on deck, salute. But let's get to the smoke. Let's get to the smoke. Let's move this meme. The little cute memes that I put up. All right. Welfare. What do y'all know about welfare? Mind of Mansa Musa, my brother, what's going on? Main biker in the building, salute. What do y'all know about the welfare, other than the fact that some of you may have been on it? Some of you, and I'm not saying that to clown. Back when I was younger, to be on welfare, you had to keep that on the low, because you got clowned for being on welfare. Much like, listen, let me relate. You know what welfare is today? Back in the day, if you was on welfare, you kept quiet about that. because it was embarrassing. That means whoever you was living with, whether it was aunts, grandparents, or your parents, y'all were pretty much broke and didn't have money for whatever reason. So you kept that on the hush. But today, there are people that are on welfare and loud and proud about it. The funniest part is when you see women on public assistance and they claim they're independent, but I don't understand that. And to be loud and proud on welfare today, Tay, good morning. Well, good afternoon. Well, good evening. Oh, wait. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good night. To be on welfare today is like a badge of honor. It's much like a promiscuous woman used to try and keep that to herself and be sneaky about it. But today they talk about it with their chest poked out. I got a high body count, good. It's the same thing with welfare. Back in my day, it was shh, don't tell nobody, relax. Now it's I'm on welfare and what? And welfare was supposed to be a temporary thing. Y'all know what projects are? They're in every city. They may look different. Project builders in New York City, they're all red. The hallways are like yellow. The elevators and staircase smell like piss. Okay? Projects in different cities look different. It's like from us, I drove down south one day. I said, that complex looks all right. And my boy said, that's the projects. I said, what? That? Now remember, it don't snow down here. Okay. Whatever. It's about the company it keeps. But in this era, you have 3 or 4 generations of people growing up in projects. Projects were supposed to be temporary. You go there, they give you a break on your rent, free light, free gas, you get some food stamps, you can feed yourself, but in the meantime, you're supposed to be actively looking for a job and getting your education. So in about maybe 2 to 5 years, you can get about that projects and live in a normal neighborhood like everybody else. But in this era, you have generations of people who living in the projects. You have a grandma and grandfather giving it to their kids, and then when they get older, the grandparents either move down south or they pass on, and now the kids live there, and then they have kids and they give it to the kids. I've seen this. They never leave. Living in public housing has become normalized. So let me ask you a question. Is this us? Is this us? Eric Jordan in the Strong House for over a year. Salute. He said, I made the best choice that I could make at the time, but it's funny that Miguel got people losing their motherfunking minds. I'm loving every minute of it. Hey, bro, listen. Miguel! Miguel! If anything that I say got people losing their minds, I'm doing a hell of a job. What you see is what you get. I don't hide from nothing. I say what I need to say in bounds. And if anybody gets in their feelings, that's great. Turn it off. Unsubscribe. You know what I'm saying? So if cats getting their feelings over something that I say, great. Because 8 times or 9 times out of 10, if somebody says something about me and I don't really deal with them anyway, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. You know why? Because I'm not over there. I'm not over there, so I don't know. I get emails from random people whom I don't know, time-stamped videos. Hey man, so-and-so was talking about you. Great. Who are you? Who are you? No response. Okay, so I don't want to click on no video. And I don't care. You see how that works? I don't care. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, Eric Jordan, I got a whole lot of people in their feelings. So stay in your feelings. You can watch or you don't. I don't care. I'm here to give you my view of the world, how I see it, ask questions, learn from you, and we can grow. I'm like that here. I'm like that on my boxing channel. And life is splendid. And if I got somebody watching me right now, in particular, who watches me and timestamps my videos and send it to people. It's brilliant stuff. But shout out to the 43rd precinct. Because that cat's on borrowed time. Yeah. Oh yeah, Timothy. Yeah, I know about that. Listen, let's get to the topic, because I have fans. I have stalkers. I have fans. I have people in their feelings, acting all light skinned. Stay in your feelings. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Stay right there in those feelings. Sad. Oh no, nah, phenomenal Mexican. No. I got fans. I got real fans. I mean, I got fans that want to swallow the whole 9 iron. Good shit though. It's great. I'm really making a difference out here. I really am. Because they can't be me. Listen, genetics dealt you whatever card they dealt you. If you don't like what you see in the mirror, if you don't like your voice in comparison to mine, if you don't like that, I don't know, whatever it is, if your channel's smaller than mine or bigger than mine, and you get aggravated at something I said, so don't care. Keep on doing what you're doing. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. What the hell? These kids are so immature. Now I'll tell you, but you're a woman. There's dudes that may as well just slap a wig on their head and be you. Dead serious. So whatever, man. Project Leroy, salute. But on to our topic. The sisters made a choice. And it's going to be accelerated, but I'm going to give you a timeline of how we got to this moment. The sisters made a choice, man. And let me read y'all something. I put in Black welfare 1960s, and this is what came up. In the 1960s, African Americans made up a large portion of the welfare recipients in the United States, and the issue of Black poverty became a topic of public debate. The percentage of African Americans receiving AFDC, ADC benefits increased from 14% in 1936 to 45% in 1969. What the hell? How the hell does that happen? 14% to 45%? That's what it said? 14% to 45%? What? Now listen to this. The War on Poverty, a series of initiatives introduced by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1964, helped to organize the Welfare Rights Group. The National Welfare Rights Organization was a prominent lobbying force on welfare policy and held a 150-mile walk for decent welfare. In 1966, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Poor People's March on Washington's night in 1968 was inspired by the NWRO's work. That is the National Welfare Rights Organization. Public perception, this is very important. The public's attention was drawn to poor Black people as welfare rolls expanded in the late 1960s and early 1970s. This was due in part to negative media coverage that portrayed Black single mothers as irresponsibly refusing to work. Stop right there. Exactly, Night Train. Did y'all pick that up? War on poverty was war on us. But did you peep the last part that I said? Project Leroy, my brother, salute. If I missed you. Let me read that one more time. The public's attention was drawn to poor Black people as welfare rolls expanded in the late 1960s and early 1970s. This was due in part to negative media coverage that portrayed Black single mothers as irresponsibly refusing to work. Did they say Black single fathers? Mark Wunderlich, salute. Did they say, yo, you hear this, right? They said Black single mothers refusing to work. Didn't I just say welfare was supposed to be temporary? You're a woman, you got some kids. Young Hollywood, salute. You got some kids, you need a little help. The first thing they said is, why do you need help? Well, it's me. And I got Junior here and his sister and one on the way. Where's their father? Because if he's around, he could what? Put it in the chat. If daddy's around, he can what? If daddy's around, he's supposed to what? If daddy's around, he's supposed to what? Thank you. Thank you. So they look around and say, Dad's not around. Okay, you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Well, we're going to put you up in this apartment. Got a little nice 2-bedroom. Light, gas, AC, not so much. Just open up the window. But in the wintertime, you're going to have heat. We're going to give you this book of food stamps. In the meantime, you got some time. Got to get a job, and you got to do better. And you saw what I just read? I'll read it to you one more time. Aaron, what up? Amir, what's good? The public's attention was drawn to poor Black people, they say people at first, as welfare rolls expanded in the late 1960s and early 70s. This was due in part to negative media coverage that portrayed Black single mothers as irresponsibly refusing to work. Not saying, they weren't saying, oh, okay, well, they're looking for a job, they can't find a job. The media was portraying them as them refusing to work. Now, how much of that was true? I don't know. You got a lot of welfare queens out there. And what were they going to do? Now, today, you let the sisterhood tell it. They're saying that the women were put in that position because their father or their man of choice, or the kid's father, pretty much their man of choice, that's what it is, was a drunk, a woman beater, womanizer, lazy, refused to work, and she had to do it on her own. And that's their story, and they're sticking to it. which is not the story. How many black men was able to find work? I mean, work that could support their family. It wasn't impossible, but education was a bit limited. It wasn't that bad. It was the 60s, but we had to be real creative. Blue collar, electrician, construction. But there was a lot of brothers in school to become doctors and lawyers and stuff like that. You know, there was some brothers that was in law enforcement, things like that. Now, there were a lot of people, a lot of women that needed help. There were a lot of women that used welfare for what it's for, and they didn't want that to be their legacy. There were a lot of women that took these government jobs, because that opened up a lot of doors for the sisters. They took government jobs where they had salary, retirement, and benefits, and that was a good move. I don't want to say that's a false sense of security, because, you know, working for the city or the state, you know, those civil service jobs, they do help depending on the pay. They do help. But that's really doing it yourself. That's not eating off of the system. You feel me? But even that's going to change by today's standards, you know, in 2024 going to 2025 with Trump getting into office. But try and follow me on this, man. Something I found here. They talk about welfare reform. The policies aim to discourage poor black women from having children out of wedlock. Bro. Yo, listen, man. I just mentioned welfare queens, right? There's a welfare queen that has a TikTok, does she not? And she taught her kids how to milk the system. Her oldest son is a welfare king. And when I heard him talk, he sounds sassy. He sounds like his mother. And she was trolling online, talking about she was about to go out and find her 7th baby daddy. So you got women that really needed the system to get themselves on their feet so they can get off of it. Because remember, when I came up, welfare was an embarrassing thing. And now, fast forward 50, 60 years later, you got a welfare queen who's raising her kids to do what she does and behave like how she behaves. And you have a generation of moochers. But meanwhile, I get up and go to work every goddamn day, sometimes 6 days a week. And then I come and do this. Because if I have 10 hours a day for my job, I can at least have 2 or 3 for myself. That's how I view things. Eric Jordan in the super chat salute. He says, just like KS said, life is about choices and trade-off. Even though there was an increase of black people on welfare, there was still a high amount of white people on welfare, unfortunately, than black folk. And that's true. But when you talk about welfare, we were always the face. It was media's negative coverage. It was. But then that became a war on us because they said that we was eating up all the welfare. Razor, what up? Where you been? We was eating up all the welfare. But welfare reform efforts in the 1960s and the 70s included policies that aimed to discourage. It wasn't a law, but they did things to discourage poor black women from having children out of wedlock. Now, speaking of Kevin Samuels, what was he pro? He was pro-family. If you being a single mother got you on welfare, it got you the welfare because you're single, there's no baby daddy, there's no husband, there's no man living in the house. How do you have time? Well, what makes you want to, I know how you make time. You make time to do anything you want, but what makes you want to reproduce? The two don't mix. You're in dire straits. You're on welfare. You're trying to take care of these kids. You should be laser focused on a career and getting off the system and making room for someone else that needs it. The system wasn't designed for you to stay there for 2 decades. The system was designed to assist you so you're not in the street. But if you're of able mind, you can go to school, you can get an education, you can get a job. It wasn't designed for you to stay there. So they were looking like, yo, when does she have time to spread her legs and get pregnant again? She's been on it for 6 years. Her oldest is in school. The middle kid is in school. She was in school. She was just about to get a job somewhere. Now she's pregnant again. Come on. You see what I mean? Young DZ, salute. So they were lasering in on that. So these policies included time limits on benefits, stricter work requirements, and penalties for mothers. Bro, that's crazy. My God. In 1960, 67% of black children were born in the 2-parent family. Let me read that. This is an article. It says, Seduced: How Radical Ideas on Welfare, Work, and Family Sent Poor Black Americans to Hell. Bro. This is, man, I'm not going to read all of this. This is so deep, though. They're basically saying, I am Waffle, salute. They're basically saying that they're pretty much saying welfare was much like the crack epidemic. They put it on us and they gave us access to it, and it was abused. And you know, whatever we have access to, white people got access to it also. But when we use it or we abuse it, because they've abused it too, when we abuse it, you know, it's 10 times worse than anything you've ever seen. And Dangerous, what up, man? And that's sad. But to be on welfare, you notice that they talked about mothers. There was nothing about a single man being on welfare. They focused on the mothers, the mothers, the mothers. So that's the 60s going into the 70s. Let's fast forward to the 90s. I'm a 90s girl. Remember that? I think the group that sung that was Black Girl, right? They were 90s girls. They were dope. I liked them. By then, you know, sisters were out and about. They were working. They could do everything that they wanted to do. They could do everything that they wanted to do. They could do everything that they wanted to do. And they did just that. If you want to be a college student, you could be a college student. You can get that job that you always wanted, or, you know, work for the city or state. Or slide down a pole if you wanted to do that. You could do anything you wanted to do. Judgment was way less. With every passing decade, with every generation, judgment was far less. Far, far less. Shame. We got away from shaming. There were no longer any, you wasn't restricted to doing something because you was a, Leon, what up? Where you been? You wasn't restricted to doing something because you was a man or a woman. It was just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. I mentioned shame a second ago. If you're dangerously overweight, men are supposed to accept that because that's who you are. And if we don't accept it, there's something wrong with us. But meanwhile, you can ask that same woman, do you like that guy? No. And she'll tell you why she don't like him. His head too big, his nose too big, his lips too big, his teeth are crooked. He's too tall, he's too short, he's too fat, whatever. I don't like his car. They could fire it off. They could fire it off. And that's just them being them. Oh, salute, Leon, man. Good to see you, though. That's what's up. They could just fire it off. They're allowed to have an opinion. And we said, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Jimmy, what up, Jimmy? And I told you this is an accelerated version. We go to the 2000s. Mr. Shelton, salute. Now, they're out and about with swag. Like, all right. They out here like dudes. Dapping it up with dudes. Like, yeah, how many bodies you got? Dude would be like, 6 chicks in the last 5 years. And she like, 10 dudes in the last 4 days. And a train. What? Huh? What? What I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, and like I said, this is accelerated. As time went on, women have gotten, and I'm talking to black women in particular, that y'all have gotten more loose with your mouth and reckless with your behavior. And we as men has had to accept that. When we even question it, like, yo, why are you acting like that? Your response is, why not? How did we get here? Go back to 1960s. Y'all gotten way too comfortable. They told y'all, in order to accept Uncle Sam's helping hand, we, the black man, is not supposed to be there. And instead of working the welfare system for what it's for, to get off of it, and for whatever reason, if you didn't have a husband, you're supposed to put in work to get some kind of family structure and show your daughters not to follow in your raggedy footsteps. Those women in the 60s raised daughters to say that, yo, I could do this by myself. I don't need no man. Anyone could do things by themselves, but we're sociable creatures, and the black man and the black woman are a lot stronger when we're together as a united front. Wouldn't you agree? So instead of being angry, and because you made a poor choice in man, and your poor choice was, get this nigga out the house, Uncle Sam is gonna take care of me. Oh yeah, Timothy? That's bad. That's crazy, Jedi. And that's a part of my point. Did y'all know these women running around trying to act like the men that they was trained or thought they were supposed to be trained to avoid, all the bad men, the bad ones? They're not behaving like that. STDs are up with black women, and more black women are going to jail. Do y'all know this? I've spoken about this before. In the 1960s, it started out with that welfare stuff. When you chose Uncle Sam over having a husband in the house, Uncle Sam just gave you stuff, but you had no leadership. Any real man, a real man, he don't want no handouts. He wants to work for it. So when women start justifying the 1960s, I'm like, hold on. Maybe your grandma was cut from your cloth. Maybe the type of man that she was with was not a notable man. Because there was F-boys back then too. What we're dealing with today, don't think it wasn't going on back then. Thank you, Jedi. Eviction up 50%. I thought they were bosses. What we have is about 60 years full of false representation. That's my point, y'all. They are this ropes in now. The 60s, y'all chose Uncle Sam and said, we don't need you. 70s, y'all lived by that. 80s, y'all are fancy and free. Y'all remember the Cosmopolitan writer that I talked to y'all about? Remember I did that live stream when she was talking about female empowerment and sexual freedom? This was in like the 60s and 70s. Remember I read that to y'all? Turns out it was bullshit. She was happily married with a family. She was writing about shit she wasn't living and had all these women marching to that tune. That was around the same time these women were on welfare. And I'm gonna point something else out to you, to the black ladies. You shunned us, you told us you don't need us. Cool, we left you alone, man. We left you alone. We left you alone. Those white women ain't abandoned their white men. Their fight is not your fight, and vice versa. Y'all are rolling in the street for Roe vs. Wade. Do you know Roe vs. Wade was invented off of a lie? Do y'all know that? And it shouldn't bother you if you're not out there being promiscuous. You know what that's like? Right now, I was looking at the news. And they said there's a beef recall. And I said, man, that's messed up. But you know why I don't care? Y'all know I don't eat meat.
Whoa!
I don't eat meat. Now, you know, everyone else does. A lot of people do, but that's not I'm like, that's fucked up. But when there's E. coli on the celery, that's a problem for me because I use it on my soup. But I said, I don't like that, but I don't eat meat. So try again. If they outlaw pork, I don't eat bacon. I don't eat pork chops. I'm okay. It's not my best interest. I don't care. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just using that as an example. So they're good for the others are good for rallying behind black women and mystifying the whole process and saying, no, this affects you too. But I want you black sisters to understand something. 2016, Trump said, grab him by the pussy. And still got elected. And I saw women at Trump rallies, they didn't give a damn about that. And I said, I hope these women are paying attention. Black women, I hope y'all paying attention. Y'all not. Because that man just got reelected. And for some reason, y'all think that was us. We didn't do that shit. What I'm telling you is, y'all made this bed y'all laying in since the 1960s. Y'all ain't want to listen to us then. Y'all don't want to listen to us now. Y'all been out of order. And we cool. Demon, what up? We cool. We stepped all the way out your way. Y'all have gotten more free, especially since the 60s to today. Y'all are free to do whatever you want. We're not in your way. So when I laugh when I hear about the patriarchy. What? In America? These women got on MSNBC about 3 weeks ago, and I screenshot. Let me see. I screenshot their names. Let me tell you something, man. The sisterhood is reaching, and it's sad. Woman's name is Molly Jong Fast. She works for Vanity Fair. She's a special correspondent. And they're saying, for the second time in 8 years, a qualified woman lost an election to Donald Trump. Now, why do you think that is? The patriarchy? Why are y'all acting like men were the only people voting when women outnumber men? You don't think women made it to the polls? You don't think there was no women that voted for Trump? What? Y'all gotta stop. Eric Jordan back in that super chat, he says, a lot more women love getting grabbed by the Buddhisty now. Listen, they're aggressive. They're aggressive. The last time I went to a club in the 90s, the last time, and I wasn't working, the last time I went to a club, I felt like a piece of meat. I was like, what is wrong? What is going on? I was like, you know what? No. I went in the corner and sat down. I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm like, yo, get off of me. What is wrong with you? Women have held the highest seats of power all around the world, except in the United States. And somehow they're blaming the patriarchy for that. The other woman she was talking to was Jennifer Piscopo, not to be confused with the comedian Joe Piscopo. I haven't had a chance to check their credentials, but they look like women that you don't want to be in a room with when they're discussing the fundamental differences between men and women, because they'll make you sick. Thank Father, salute. They'll make you sick. They'll really make you sick. But from the 60s until now, what I want y'all to understand, what I want the ladies to understand, is that y'all did this. Y'all did this. Y'all made a choice. Black women, y'all made a choice. We left you alone. We're not holding you back from anything. I'm going to keep sticking this point to you. I'm going to keep drilling you with this. Especially the last 6 years, man. Y'all have gone on these crazy rants. Y'all chose Uncle Sam in the 60s, and y'all went all the way to the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, girls. And there was in the 70s and 60s, there was some sort of sexual revolution. If he can be a stud with sleeping with all these women, why can't I be like that? Why can't I be free and sleeping around? The illest thing, and I've spoken about this before, women's talking about, hey man, you're talking about a polygamous, a poly marriage, a poly situation. If he can have two women, why can't I have, what, you want two men? Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know how that's going to work. You don't even want to make the one man you have a sandwich. What happens when you have two? You see, a poly situation, the sexual part is just a bonus. What does she think a poly situation will do for her? Two men working good jobs while she gets to sit at home and do what? Live like a queen? No. If two kings are working, the queen is supposed to pick up the rear and help. The queen has duties also. And while they're at work paying for the house, you think you're not going to clean it? What, are you not going to have a meal ready for your two kings? And what happens when it's the weekend and both of them want some tail? You can't say no. That is your duty as a wife. It don't sound so amazing now, do it? To some women, it do. But the women that I had this conversation with, they couldn't take that. They were like, oh, yeah, exactly. Stormy, salute. Exactly. Exactly. You can't deal with it, can you? You don't want to do for the man you got. What do you mean you want another one? So when you talk about poly, the first thing they do is jump to, why does he get to have 2 women? Well, hold on now. Poly situations might be how we have to live in the next decade or so. With inflation going up, we're being replaced, but listen, man, they want to replace us. I just learned that somewhere in, I think, Houston, or is it Chicago? Some company, of course, a sanctuary city, some company had a bunch of migrants working for them. Unregistered ones. And they're like, wait a minute. You know what that is? That's cheap labor. The dudes that you're supposed, let's say it's house building. The dudes that you would, the group, let's say it's 50 people and they're supposed to be building a house. These are all trained professionals. So you're required to pay them a certain amount of money. But if you can cut corners and instead of dishing out $100,000, you could dish out $20,000 and get a bunch of migrants and show them, yo, all you gotta do is take that concrete and put it over there. All you gotta do is, you and Juan, you pick up the wood and put it over there, and you're just directing traffic and you're saving $60,000. These dudes are doing it. So they like the migrants here. They ain't gonna talk back. They can't unionize. And they don't want to go back wherever the hell they came from. Mexico, Venezuela, whatever. And meanwhile, there's some black men somewhere or an immigrant who's here legally and going through the process who can't find work because these big companies can get cheap labor. That's a problem. Ladies, black women, that's why Trump won the election, God damn it. That's why he won. That's why he won. We're just looking at that. I keep it simple here. Y'all start talking about, oh, he wants to take about the reproductive rights. Man, shut the fuck up. I really heard a woman talking like that. I'm like, yo, you're like 70. There's nothing up there. Shorty, you had a hysterectomy. What the fuck do you care? Hamburger meat has E. coli. I'm straight. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat meat at all. I'm straight. Everyone else got to worry about that. Y'all were just in Burger King today. I'm cool. Y'all not. You live in a sanctuary city. You know what's going on out here. What's the play? They talking about we're going to protect them. Protect them from what? I was just watching a video. This dude, a Venezuelan gang member, was arrested 6 times and released on his own recognizance. The last time he got arrested, now they're not giving him bail or releasing him. Well, not bail, they're not releasing him. You know why? He fucked up and robbed a DA. Y'all know what that is, right? A district attorney. She got robbed in her lobby. He took a cell phone. They tracked the phone to a goddamn shelter, went and picked him up. No bail. Of course, she's connected. So she probably didn't make the call. Oh, yeah, I get to do this paperwork. No. He was arrested, and she know, and everybody, they're in on it. It's a gang. The police, the DA, they said, oh, he robbed her. He robbed Sally. I don't know the chick's name. Oh, yeah. And now he's locked up. What about the other 6 fucking times that he did something? You see what I mean? But these guys in these blue states want to fight really hard for their rights. Listen, you're here illegally. You have no rights. Crime is up. Crime is up. Alvin Bragg, yeah, okay. Crime is up. These people are sleeping in the streets. These sanctuary cities have turned into shitholes, the same shitholes that Donald Trump says he don't want anything to do with. And now they're here. And we was bamboozled by this dude's racism when this dude said build a wall. This is what he was talking about. You see? Y'all voted in Biden and then this shit happened. Now, what the fuck does that have to do with black men? There's not enough of us. You know why? Black people only make up 13% of the population of this country. You know why? We're only, because when you tell that to people, they're like, no, we got to be more. We got to be more. No. You know why? Because those free black women reading the Cosmo magazines, living their best life, sexually free, was running out and aborting those goddamn babies. In clinics in where? Black neighborhoods, where the liquor store is and the chicken store is. So what are we talking about? You see that, Stormy? Exactly. Exactly. Christopher, who's a grifter? Who are you talking about? What are you talking about? Speak fast, because I don't have time to be playing games here. Timothy Taylor says over 25 million black babies aborted. That's what you do with your freedom. And that's why we're only 13% of the goddamn population. When you really do the math, we're supposed to be half of the nation by now. But with your freedoms and everything else, boom. Boom. You start counting 1960, Roe versus Wade is in the middle of that, and and then you're thinking like, wait a minute, how are we 13%? I don't know, you tell me. You ever sat down and talked to these chicks from the 80s and 90s and asked them how many ABs they had? Ask them. I told you about the chicks I know. Huh. Huh. Wasn't us. It wasn't us. In newsflash, shorties would be like, oh, well, the guy, you know, he knocked me up. Right. I'm willing to bet the guy you laid up with was not the best of choice. You know how I can say that? Look at y'all right now. And y'all rolling in the street with Roe versus Wade. That wasn't enough to close the borders. Which I should have did was close y'all borders. Oh my God, y'all don't hear me. Whoa! What? I should have closed y'all borders. And when you decide to lay up and reproduce, you should be with a man that at least had the decency to put a ring on it and walk you down the aisle. You can't do that. I'm not even going to get on that, bro. The Ukraine thing, I'm not even going to get on that. So we got open borders. We giving money to the Ukraine, right? And can I ask y'all a question? All this rolling in the floor, Roe versus Wade and reproductive rights and all this other stuff. What happened to our conversation about reparations? Where'd that go? Oh, I'm sorry. To the Ukraine. Fucking around with Putin in his situation. Sticking our nose in that business. I don't know what they got going over there. And guess what? I don't care. It's none of my business. How many Ukrainians marched in the street when we got shot by cops right here on American soil? How many of them, when George Floyd got offed, and it was worldwide business? What happened in the Ukraine? You know what I know about the Ukraine? There's a lot of Nazis over there. And that's true. I knew about that before it was mentioned. Huh? Okay. Bean Pro, salute. And that super chat. Good to see you, good brother. He says, salute King, great cook. And we still love black women. All facts. Yeah, we do. We do. And let me tell you, this is not all the sisters. There's sisters that are not standing close to this. There are sisters out there. There are a lot of sisters out there. Salute to Messi Michonne. She's doing the same. She's like, look at this. Danica, Crimson Cure, salute to those queens. Pink Book Lessons, salute to them. They're like, look at this. See this? Told you. But I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't defend myself. Let me see something real quick. Fudge Brownie. What's going on here? Okay. Let's see something. Okay, I don't even know who dude is. Christopher Ecton. You know, I guess she was calling me a grifter. Why? Because I'm having a conversation that everyone's having. This is my opinion on it. What? You're mad because I'm not talking about Diddy? Or, you know, when it's a hot topic, it's a hot topic. People are mad at Donald Trump. You can be mad at him. I know exactly why he's in the White House now. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. But back to what I was saying. What happened to our conversation about reparations? What happened to that? Cornel West was talking about reparations. I want to talk about that. We ain't got no money because we're giving millions of dollars to the fucking Ukraine. And allegedly, we're helping Nazis. And Putin said, yo, we considering helping the Ukraine an act of war. Do we really want that smoke? Now, let me ask you a question. And salute to my queen, Sheila. Showing some love, man. Salute to you, queen. Much love and appreciation. Great to see you. Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask the ladies a question. Mac of the South, my brother, salute. Blue collar guy, salute. I miss you in the chat. Know that I love you. Let me ask y'all a question. If World War III pops off, ladies, are you going to be on the front lines? Are you? Ladies first. Oh, got it. That's when you draw the line at my body, my choice. Because what if I don't want to go? Well, you have to go. Why? We're at war. My body, my choice. I'm not putting my life on the line for this. Well, Russia's coming. So? Bring your ass. I don't care. I don't agree with nothing y'all do over here. I just live here. Where is Stormy with Clarissa Shields go? I don't know. Sheesh. Who knows? My body, my choice. Right? That changes things, don't it? What are you fighting for the right? But to smash and spit out babies uncontrollably, or not use rubbers and get your insides mutilated? You should be your choice to do that. Okay. All right, if that's what you want to do. But in the same breath, don't wonder why we're 13% of the population between 1960 and now. Because I remember we was on a show and some people in the chat was like, we can't be. I said, look it up. And then you wonder, how? Well, I'm telling you, your body, your choice. What y'all don't know is y'all might have had a little brother or another aunt or uncle, but it's a possibility that your OG may have been a little loose. Eric Jordan, salute. Says she mad Trump won and Miguel couldn't help Kamala win. ¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel! Close your clap. Close your clap. Close it. I didn't understand that. I was sipping tea like, what are they mad at? You know how many women agreed with what we were saying? It was like, oh, okay. Why are you not mad? Shorty was like, I'm married. That don't apply to me. I don't care. What about you, Ma? I'm not outside. I'm not out in the street like that. Meaning, they ain't fucking. Other shorty, she said, I get the shot every 6 months. So if I do have a crazy night, there ain't nothing there. I get the shot. I got that little thing that looked like a nicotine patch. All of that stuff. They were exhausting all means not to have that happen, is what I'm saying. So all y'all rolling in the IUD. Yo, all y'all rolling in the street over that. Black men had nothing to do with that. What I'm saying, Pinball, what up? What I'm saying is the government, y'all accepted their hand in marriage. Decades of y'all thinking y'all could do what y'all want. Y'all running around and y'all thinking that white woman's fight was y'all fight too. Meanwhile, they stuck by their man, Donald Trump. He said, grab him by the pussy. And they said, we don't care. We're voting for you. Right? Right? And now you're mad. Now you're mad. And you're sitting back saying, how could this happen? And you're saying, you. And you look at black men. And we're like, what? Listen, y'all stopped listening to us over 20 years ago. Over 25 years ago. Y'all stopped listening to us. Y'all could do it yourself. Y'all make more money than us with Dusty, with bums and everything else. We left y'all alone. We wasn't out loud about the passport brother thing. There's some chick, Copper, what up? Some chick, from what I understand, some chick found out about it and she blew it out of proportion, and then dudes just started owning it. Oh yeah, I'm going to look for a traditional woman out of the country. Guess what? That's not new. Y'all ever heard of something called a mail order bride? Man, those white folks been doing that for years. They were going to Russia, in the Ukraine, and Spain, and getting these chicks before the internet. They've been doing that. Y'all gonna get mad at brothers checking their options overseas. Meanwhile, you know what we found out? For decades, before the internet, Keltu Slimy, where you been? Salute. Before the internets, y'all been going, and I'm talking about women in general, y'all been going to Africa and sleeping with those boys. And y'all sisters, y'all been caught. Y'all been going to Jamaica and getting groped on and smashed on a river raft. How about that? and then want to come back home and talk about Roe vs. Wade and you're behaving like that? I saw sisters sit on a panel and saying, when brothers was like, you know what, there should be mandatory DNA testing. And there were sisters on that panel saying, no, they could, the government could do other things with that money. Really? Like what? Pay for your abortion?
Whoa! What the
Exactly. Y'all free to go to Dubai and get pooped on and all that stuff. This is what y'all want to do. Once I saw the Jamaica thing on, well, first of all, I knew about that since high school. And we're talking about like 92, 93. I had friends my age. We was like 15, 16 in high school. And I had Jamaican friends off the boat. Every summer they went home. When they would come back to the Bronx, they would tell us these stories. And I'm like, yo, he lying. And they would tell us how they would be sleeping with these girls, these grown women from other countries. Black women from the UK, Black American women. He was like, the Canadian white women. I was like, he's lying. And he would show pictures. There was no cell phones back then, y'all. He would have pictures of this. Look at her, look at her. I'm like, no. I need to see you freaking off with this chick. You just showing me shit. You could have been went home and just taking pictures of them. But looking back at it now, they were all in bikinis. And his gear was a lot stellar. He was getting paid. And I said, oh, crap. When I got older and I started hearing more about it, I said, yo, Fitzroy wasn't lying. You let it die down and it comes up again online. And I'm like, no. This has been going on for years. So you got that going on. But then passport bros is a problem. And not every man that goes out of country to freak off, not every man that leaves a country is a passport bro. Because I'm going to tell you something else that's been going on for decades. Men going to DR and freaking off. And going to these other countries and freaking off. That's always been happening. That's always been happening. It's not a passport, bro. That's a dude just trying to slam up everything. That's what that is. So what are y'all talking about? Nothing. Y'all want to know how disgusting? And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Y'all ladies been so free. Brothers UK, salute. Y'all ladies have been so free that Joe, what's good, Joe? That things on TV have been like disgusting, and y'all tried to normalize disgusting behavior. At one point, I was going to review this show every episode, but I only did one live on it. And I had to stop because it was disgusting. Y'all remember what that show was? Y'all remember that show where these old over-the-hill mothers went to an island to find love? And they didn't know, and they were all cougars. Y'all remember that? And they were dating younger men. And when the men showed up, guess what? It was their sons. And the chicks that were just popping bottles, yeah, girl, these young men gonna come to find out your son is showing up with some other, all these women had sons in their 20s. It was the most disgusting. And I sat back like, yo, I can't understand. Tay, I'm not even kidding. It's one of my shows. I reviewed one of the shows. And I said, you know what? I can't do this every week. This is disgusting. How does something like this get okayed to be on TV? And I'm watching this thing in complete and total disgust. These women are in their 50s They had one game on the show where they had to blindfold the women and touch their sons' bodies to see who they, and these women was like, yeah, check this out. The only black woman on the show, right? They had her blindfolded and she's touching the men and she says, no, not this one. This is my son. And she was right. Now, here's the thing. You know why that bothered me? Your son's grown. How the fuck do you know how he feels? There was nothing normal about that show. I haven't seen any advertising for a second season. I haven't looked for it. But I said, I don't know how the hell this is on TV, because you know why? All you have to do is reverse the roles. Imagine some 50-year-old dudes. What do they call them? What do they call us with the gray? What do they call us? They have a word for us. Gray fox or silver foxes, right? And they on there like, yeah, man, we only date 20-year-olds. And the 20-year-old chicks show up and we licking our lips, and in walks, you're like, hey, yeah, she look good, she look good, she look good. You're looking around. You're like, and you're looking at everybody. You was just popping beers. You talking about how you're gonna up the ick out of these chicks when they get here, and you're like, you look around, like, what's wrong? That's my daughter. And then you look, and then you see your daughter. You're like, what is happening? And surprise, you can date everybody, but these are your daughters. And you was just high-fiving. You just made a new friend. Y'all just throwing back some beers, and you're like, hey, man, somebody gonna get this work. And then y'all daughters show up, and you're like, oh, shit. And now your daughter is about to hook up with Greystoke, the legend of Tarzan over there. Some dude look like Grizzly Adams. And he's about to put the beats on your daughter. Imagine, that show wouldn't even get off the goddamn ground, and it wouldn't even be about those freaky ass chicks. It'd be about nasty old men. You see what they did to Shaq? Oh, he's too old to be talking about that chick was grown. He too grown to be talking about her like that. I'm like, all right. Now imagine if that was a show. But no, you had these cougar women with their sons on there. And I said, how that black woman know how her grown son's body feels? Remember when I said that these chicks be freaking off? But this is what the freedom, the matriarchy has done. There's no patriarchy over here. We're not stopping y'all from doing anything. The title of the show is Y'all Made a Choice. Y'all been making y'all choices all this time. And you let them tell it? These emotional chicks running around on TikTok, sounding like articulate idiots, screaming and hollering over Donald Trump winning. You did this. What are you worried about your reproductive rights for? You can fight about that later. We got bigger fish to fry than your stinking smelling fish. Because according to you, you're not sleeping with no broke dusties anyway. You're not trying to reproduce and make a family. So what do you need? What do you need? This Roe versus Wade thing. What do you need that for? We got these dudes coming up in here, and you got these sanctuary cities that are not going to cooperate with ICE. Meanwhile, these people are getting robbed all over the place. And you worry about all this stupid shit because y'all are stupid. Darius in that super chat, much love. He said it was okay for African princes to come to us and find a wife in the 1980s, and Stella can get her groove back. But Passport Bros is discussing exactly. Shorty could be working at McDowell's and Prince Jiffy Jaffa, whatever his name was, could come and sweep her off her feet. That was okay. Stella, 40, 50 plus year old woman, could write a book and make a movie about how She went to Jamaica and found some 21-year-old who turned out to be a gay man. That was the reality of the story. And that was all good. But a man who's fed up with the matriarchy can say, you know what, I got to explore my options out this country. He's sassy, gay, and hates his mother. He's dusty and broke, and no one's going to want him anyway. And when brothers have gotten caught up somewhere, not knowing the landscape and gotten killed, y'all applauded that. Y'all applauded when Kevin Samuels died. Y'all dance on our grave every time y'all get a chance to. Y'all let Cynthia G back on YouTube. But before she left, right? She said, if you're pregnant with a black baby boy, delete the pregnancy. She said that because we're bandits, right? Do y'all know her history? Her baby daddy is a bandit. Her baby daddy, I think he got 3 different baby mamas. And she still procreated with him out of wedlock. And she's so angry she didn't generate compliance from that bandit that she wants all black women who are pregnant with baby boys in and out of wedlock to delete the pregnancy because she's mad because she made a bad choice. And she has an assembly line of women who trauma bond with her. And she didn't forward that information. Someone found out that information and put it out there, and she had to own it. And what happened to I really believe that she had a few women that followed her, who followed that advice. So what are we talking about here? Y'all are angry. Oh, Darius, you didn't know? Look it up. Because she was on what's her name that wrote it? She was on Oprah. And the story, Darius, is she came back, she married that kid, right? He didn't look anything like Taye Diggs in real life. He was a light-skinned dude with, I think that was a perm in his hair or an S-curl. And he was gay. And he married her, and she had to settle because he was trying to take half of what she was a writer. And he was like, married her, but like, yo, he got his citizenship. He was trying to take half her shit. And they had to like settle. And women got mad. Oh, he's not no real man. He didn't earn that. She wrote all those books herself. You're right. But I wish y'all would have that same goddamn energy when a man builds himself up, gambles, marries a chick, and she's with him for about 7 or 8 years, spits out some kids and say, you know what, I won't be with you no more. And you got to pay me alimony, child support, give me the house, I'm going to keep the cars, I'm going to keep the sports cars, and you take the family van. And she didn't do anything but spit out some kids and give him a whole heap of headache. So this dude turned out to be a homosexual dude. And when he came out on stage, Terry McMillan, when she came out on stage and sat down, I remember watching that episode of Oprah with my brother. And when he came out on stage, he damn near floated out. Ow, floated out. We was like, huh? And sat down and looked and crossed his legs, and we was like, huh? Now you see, I couldn't be in the audience. You know why? I'd have asked her, Miss McMillan, was he like that when you met him? Because she was old, and she was down on herself. Gravity took over. She's not feeling herself. Why do you think they call it how Stella got her groove back? She wasn't feeling herself. She wasn't feeling her pretty self. Her looks were deteriorating, but she had her career. She was worth about $1 million when she got to Jamaica. She was an accomplished writer. And that dude made her feel young. The movie made her feel young. The reality was he was looking for a fucking green card. And she was so messed up in her head that she thought it was love. She didn't even peep game. And I bet you she had friends around her like, yo, look, play around with that boy, but don't give him no green card. She's just jealous. You're just hating. Okay. He got his green card. He clapped those cheeks. And when he came and sat out on that stage, I said, yo. And I bet you ask her friends out with her in Jamaica, you ask them, was he like that? Yes. But she was just so happy that somebody was in her face. You see? And she got all that money, right? What did I say? Socially inept. Academically brilliant, but socially inept. You see what I mean? It's a grown-ass woman, y'all. Grown-ass woman. You see? Don't blame me. It gotta be on YouTube. I know you could Google pictures of them. You could look at them and say, yo, he ain't right. She didn't care. She didn't care. She made a choice. You sisters made a choice. Stop blaming us. We didn't do that shit. Oh, F the passport bros. Y'all on the river raft in Jamaica. Huh? Huh? Getting dug out in Jamaica. What's the difference? Y'all broke, y'all dusty. Eviction is up on y'all. I thought y'all were homeowners. Ebony K. Williams, you want to follow behind her? She can afford to get pregnant and be a single mom. Why would she want to do that? I don't know. Y'all can't afford to freeze your eggs if y'all getting evicted out your goddamn homes that you bought at a high interest rate that you couldn't afford. Y'all are not the most educated. Y'all are the most enrolled in school. And then when you do get your degree, you spend 20 years paying the school back. You think I don't know what's going on? You think I don't know what's going on? Y'all going on these girl trips on these. Did Spirit file for chapter 11, by the way? Are they having problems? That means those cheap flights to Jamaica. The Spirit Airline, they did, Sheila? Okay. No more cheap flights to Jamaica, to and from. Monster Musa, that's disgusting, bro. No more cheap flights to Jamaica, right? I know about the ski trips. In the early 2000s, that was a thing every winter. Bus rides to these places upstate. Y'all wasn't doing no skiing. It was full-blown orgies. I heard about them. Never went. I'm like, what? Who's going? I'm thinking it's a church bus, and they're like, nah, I'm seeing a flyer. Remember the flyers on the cards? You see some dude on there like with gold chains. Yo, so-and-so ski trip. I'm like, oh, okay, I know what this is. No, thank you. I spent time getting away from you niggas. I don't want to be somewhere on a mountain in the elements with a bunch of you niggas running around. No, get out of here. I know what goes on. These cruises. Think I don't know what goes on? Y'all spend a $2,000 cruise, all inclusive. You spend all year, and then you get the remaining balance on your tax return. I know what goes on. You put that last $500 on it, and you and your homegirls with your eyelashes get on these damn boats. 7-day cruises and stuff. Think I don't know what's going on? You think I don't know? I know people that have gone on those things, and people in my age range. Now, there are cruises with adults. But I'm talking about when you see these cruises and really look at who's going to be on those damn boats. I don't hang in the projects. Why would I want to be on a fucking boat with a bunch of dudes and chicks from the projects. Why? Why would I want to do that? Exactly, Sheila. Hell no. I know what it is. Choices. And shout out to the sisters. Y'all saw that TikTok clip or whatever where those chicks, YOLO'd on some vacation and all of them took pregnancy tests and they were all pregnant? You saw that? Why would you put that on? Right, but Roe vs. Wade, right? But Donald Trump is screwing up your choice. Man, come on, man. If you're not irresponsible, Delano, what up? That don't matter. If you're not irresponsible. No, I'm sorry. If you're responsible, then that choice don't matter. Like when Kamala said, "Oh, I'm putting money towards black male." What'd she say? How did she word it? Mental health support or something. I'm not crazy. Black male health. What? None of that shit applied to me. My God. Salute, Sheila. I appreciate you. None of that shit applied to me. Try again. Was she talking about reparations? No. You know what she did say? I'm not going to do everything for black people. I'm just going to do something for the American people. She said that. I'm like, well, okay. All right. So I guess we're not talking about reparations. Oh, but Drew, neither was Trump. I ain't vote for him. I voted for my interest. Cut me a check. Because all of these things that I'm talking about, how many times you heard me say I don't want to be around you N-words? I really don't. I don't want to be on a boat with y'all. I don't want to be on an island with y'all. I want to be on a ski trip with y'all. I want to be away from y'all. Because y'all are not me. And guess what? Y'all sisters made it clear y'all don't want to be around us either. So all of that, decades of that shit, in particular the last 4 to 5 years, come to find out, y'all tried to bully us in this election. Y'all chose Uncle Sam and you got what you asked for. Y'all get what this show is about yet? Everything that I said? Do y'all get it? Y'all chose Uncle Sam. Y'all didn't choose us. Only 12% of black men voted for Trump, the same amount that voted for him last time. This shit is not our fault. And y'all outnumber us. Black women I'm talking about. So what happened to the other women? The others voted for Trump, you fucking idiots. God damn. Y'all made it clear. Y'all don't like us. It's cool. We love y'all. When we love y'all enough, you know how I'm saying, we gotta love it, you gotta let it go. We love y'all enough to leave y'all alone. We got tired of hearing, ew, stop bothering me. All right. 2 weeks go by and you have no foodie call. What happened to Charles? He normally calls me up at least 2 times a month to take me out and he shoots his shot. Where he at? Where he at? He calling and I answering his phone. Then we finally answer his phone. It's 2 in the morning. Where you're at, he's on another part of the world. Where you at? You FaceTime Charles and Charles is somewhere on the beach somewhere. Exploring his options. What you doing? I'm in West Bubblefuck somewhere. So no foodie call for you. He's in the Philippines. He's in Argentina somewhere. He's in Spain somewhere. Because somebody said, Charles, you ain't got to stay here and deal with that. The amount of money you spent on her in the last year and a half, just for her to pat you in the head, say you're like a brother to me, stop it. Besides, you think she's not getting her kitty cat plowed? Somebody's getting it. And 10 times out of 10, it's a dude that is not a good husband. It's never a dude that'll make a good husband. It's always a dude that's good to her in the bedroom, but will be the worst husband. And she's always scheming and plotting, how can I change him? He ain't got no money to be a foodie call, and he wouldn't even buy it for me because he knows I don't deserve it. He's not gonna wine and dine me, but man, he fine. But then when you ain't in your imagination get treated to dinner and a movie, because the real guy, Charles, the slightly chubby Charles, not quite 6 feet, he's about 5'10", has good hygiene, but he don't really look too pleasing to your eye. Now when he's no longer available, what you got? Just getting plowed. But there's no one around to treat you like a what? A woman. You know why? You're not even a woman. You're a fucking animal. You're an animal. Because you made a choice. Y'all get the title of the show now? You made a choice. All of those choices since 1960 led you to this point. I'm talking to the sisters now. And you can't get mad at us because the facts, data, and statistics say we didn't do this shit. We didn't do it. It wouldn't have mattered. We didn't do it. Now y'all done talk crazy, especially in the last 4 years, y'all done talk crazy about us. And all we did was say, okay, we're dusty, cool. We're broke, cool. We're ugly, cool. We're fat, skinny, short, steroid. They tell me I'm on steroids, whatever. Cool. What we did do is comply, and we left you alone. And on the way out, I can't believe y'all said, by the way, you better vote for Kamala. Okay. We got you. And the brothers that were mad at you, but were holding on to that Democratic blue hat, totally got screwed off when Obama came and shot him. They were like, wait a minute, he have to say, oh, okay, watch this. Exactly, Night Train. Y'all choosing the bear and shit. All right, cool, man. Cool. Y'all got this. Y'all been telling us since 1960. Y'all got this. And y'all are free to do anything that y'all want to do in life. We left you alone. We complied. Marriage is down. Marriage is down. In the black community, marriage is down. And for a lot of ain't shit niggas out here, y'all sure are pregnant. Y'all are choosing single motherhood. Y'all are on these podcasts cutting up. When brothers are saying that's not it, it's this. Y'all fighting and so cool. We left you alone. We complied. Y'all danced on Kevin Samuel's grave, and you don't want to hear anything we got to say. Y'all even want to hear, yo, look, this is the problem. No. You the problem. It's y'all. It's men. Patriarchy. Okay, cool. We left you alone. And then when Kamala ain't get in, y'all got mad at us. And then when the stats came out from Joy Reid, she showed you it's not black men. They're like, oh, Tom, what up, Tom? Oh yeah, Darius, you're absolutely right. And that's what I've been saying. The majority of black men are good. The minority of black men that are bad, those are the ones getting all the tail. And they have multiple kids from multiple women. So these women are dogpiling these ain't shit dudes. But we're Dusty. You're kissing him on the mouth, and you can tell him how his other baby mama tastes. Oh God. When you go down on him, is that Juanita? Yeah, it is. Just left there. Y'all doing all of that, y'all might as well be in a poly lifestyle. Y'all may as well do that. Yeah, of course, Derek, we get the blame. We get the blame. But we know the truth. We know the truth. %4 of us are single and childless. We're in the middle class or wealthy. A small percentage of us are Pookies and Ray Rays. And Pookies and Ray Rays have multiple children from multiple women. And those women know about everybody else because those women are in competition with each other. They're not getting BBLs for us. They're doing it because they're in competition with each other. They're doing it because they want to, you see it all the time. They go to these places and they get the BBLs. And what's the first thing they do when the skin heal up? You see them twerking. That's not for us, believe it or not. It's for clicks and views and likes. Because a like from a complete stranger from the opposite side of the planet, someone that you'll never meet, and if you do meet, he's probably a creep, is that more satisfying than the average dude that liked you before the BBL? Because your standard was so high. You made a choice. Do you understand the point of the show now? Y'all made this choice. You made the bed. Please lay in it. Please be accountable. I know that's difficult. Accountability and modern women do not go in the same sentence. But you gotta try it. Y'all did this from 1960. Y'all took Uncle Sam's hand and said, fuck you, nigga. And you would have thought that you'd be in a better position. Y'all are free to do whatever it is. And what did you do? Okay, fine. We don't want to call y'all whores anymore. You can sleep with as many men as you want. STD's up. Single parenthood is up. Single motherhood is up. Marriage is down. That's what you did with your freedom. That's what you did with your freedom. I'm lying. Look it up. You don't need no man. You don't need no man. You don't need no man. I just asked you if Putin says, you know what, it's on. And we get to, I don't know, breaking news. There's the fucking Russian submarines are lined up off the coast of Brooklyn. What? It was time to rock and roll. My body, my choice. Bone Quisha, you get to the front lines. All of a sudden, you're a woman. You're a woman all of a sudden. So Derek asks, how do we as a people break the cycle? Yeah, they're gonna twerk for Putin. You know what they'll do? They'll go over to Russia. They'll be turncoats. Oh, I believe with you. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to hang with y'all. That's what they'll do. Self-preservation. Bedwench. I see that in them. They don't like us anyway. Divested in everything. Nothing's worked for them. Nothing has worked for them. Everything to degrade us, and nothing has worked for them. You don't have to even clown them for it. Just look. How do we as a people break the cycle, Derek is asking? That's up to them. We're blue in the face talking at this point. We've told them how we feel, and we're treated like shit. Men, we're treated like shit. It's a thankless thing to exist as a man, especially a black man in this world. It's thankless. But it's everyday work for us. There's a woman that's going to watch this and say, hey, you know, that's a bit much. No, it's not. Because that lesbian chick that decided to live like a man, I did the show on her. What did she do when she was done living like a man? She deleted herself. She couldn't take it. Did you see the woman that said, yo, I started a Tinder account as a man just to see? And she said, oh my God, now I understand. You see? And I'm like, I don't know what she, oh my God, in that. There was a dude was like, yo, this is everyday life for me. Now she gets it. Ladies, y'all are judged by y'all beauty. That's just the world. You know you know what men are judged by? What could we do for everyone else? Imagine. All you got to do is be pretty. Everything else y'all could catch up with. You can't cook, you could learn. You could learn how to be a homemaker. You could learn if your mama ain't teach you. But being pretty, that's just a blessing. A man could be handsome, but what is he doing? What did I just say a second ago? He could be handsome and knocking your spine out of alignment, but if he ain't ish, he ain't ish. What are you going to do, take care of him? Some chicks actually try and do that. Yeah, Derek, you're already ahead of the game. You know why? Because you're in your baby girl's life. A lot of these women come from broken women since the 60s. Their mother's broken and their grandmama's broken. All they know about grandpapa is what they told them. They ain't gonna tell them the truth that they ran him out the house and they chose Uncle Sam over him. So they raised mama in that image. Got pregnant with you. And she ain't gonna tell, well, what about daddy? Well, he ain't ish. He don't love you. And then when you get a little older and you start shaping out, you look like how she used to look 20 years ago. And now she in competition with you. I've seen it. I've seen it. And now you growing up mad at your mama. Didn't know your grandfather. And now you don't trust dudes. I've seen it. I've seen it. But I ain't gonna talk you out of death. I gotta get up in the morning and talk some boxing and piss some people off. Don't care. But you know, it is what it is. So salute to you, queens. You did this to yourself. They made a choice. Started in the 60s. Y'all been the villains. It wasn't us. I find it very strange that y'all blamed us, and then when it came out that we didn't do anything, what are y'all doing? It wasn't us. That's some funny stuff, man. Some funny stuff. Good luck to y'all though, man. I'm cool. I'm cool, man. We'll get better when we get on code, but too many of these sisters are wrong and strong. There are some sisters that are not standing close to this melee, and I appreciate them. I mentioned their names earlier, and there's more. I mentioned them earlier though, but salute to them. They're doing great work, great work. And I appreciate women when y'all don't stand too close to the madams of melee. It's time revealed the truth on this, didn't it? So, whatever. But salute to y'all. Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, Super Chat, man. Much love to all of you. Thank you, guys. And see y'all in the morning. Take it gently.